Hi Purab. Firstly, welcome to
But
HT's
hi,
OTT.
hi Nirali, how are you?
I'm completely fine. How are you doing? Firstly,
I'm all right. Been talking away. बहुत सारा इंटरव्यू दे रहा हूँ मैं आज तो yak 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 yak.
it's been a busy day for you. But I want to firstly congratulate you for the fact that the trailer of 36 Days has come out really well. I personally, when I
Thank you very
watched
much.
the when I watched the trailer, I really liked the intriguing factor of it. There's curiousness. There are secrets that are yet to be unfolded. Tell me, what were your first thoughts when the script of 36 Days was narrated to you?
Um, the my first thoughts were it's great. I also saw the original show,
Mhm.
so I my first thoughts were कि इसको अगर आप इंडिया में अडाप्ट करना चाहते हो तो how will certain things work with the audience here? So while I really enjoyed the first show and I enjoyed the character I was playing a lot in the first in the original show, but generally story को लेके and the overall story I was wondering कि कुछ चीजें हमारे audience के लिए थोड़ा change करना पड़ेगा because they might not accept. And I can't remember क्या चीजें थी. I remember that कि कुछ तो डिस्कशन हुआ था मेरा और विशाल के बीच में और विद द बीबीसी क्रिएटिव टीम वी हैड स्पोकन अ बिट कि इसको अगर इंडिया में अडाप्ट कर रहे हैं तो हाउ डू यू टैकल दैट. So besides that, I think more or less I was quite impressed by the original show or by the script. That BBC always their shows are great. Uh, be it anything that I've done two or three. मैंने Out of Love किया है. Out of Love के 2 seasons किए मैंने. Criminal Justice किया है. Now there's 36 days. So I know कि when they call me only, I know कि जो show आ रहा है उसका जो writing होगा वो बड़ा अच्छा होगा. It'll be
Correct.
a interesting intriguing show क्योंकि उनके सारे show अच्छे होते हैं.
Yeah, absolutely. But I want to ask you, which was the one factor, or say a few factors that kind of drew you towards saying yes to 36 days?
Uh, Mainly the story.
Mhm.
I think the story and script is the first thing that attracts me to doing something. Then there's a comfort level also working with some people you've worked before. I was excited to work with Vishal. I'd seen his work and I was interested to know what he was about. Um, the other cast members, I heard the other cast members' names and they are all very good names involved, as you might know.
Yeah.
I've always respected all the actors on the show. I've respected their work. So there's no one I could say I've not seen their work or I'm feeling a little uncomfortable about it. So, and I think it was a show also telling of its times, the way the characters were selected, what it was representing, and so there were many reasons why I decided to do 36 days.
Yeah.
One big reason was also the fact that it was being shot in Goa.
Yeah.
I thought because I have family in Goa. My mother actually lives also now more mainly in Goa. So for me, it was like going back home a little bit
Yeah.
too.
And reliving the good days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and seeing family, seeing friends. I was there for almost 25, 30 days shooting. So that was nice.
Yeah.
I don't live in India anymore, so when I get an opportunity to go to places I want to go, then I say yes also because you want to be in a nice place to work.
Yeah, absolutely. But also talking about your character in the series, when I saw the trailer, your character Rishikesh seemed to be a bit on the grey side. I want to know what challenges came with playing this part in 36 days.
Well, good challenges. Every part comes with its challenges and trying to figure out how do you want to play it and how do you want to do something that's interesting and intriguing and honest to the character and to the part you're playing. Honesty has to be there. And I think Rishi, I'm glad people are finding him interesting and grey. He's got a grey side, like most of the characters written now, especially when it's on a series format. It's interesting to have grey characters and just black and white characters. So most characters are written like that nowadays. But Rishi, on that matter, he's actually genuinely a very nice guy. I think he's a very, very nice, sweet guy. He's a little suppressed and subdued by his better half, which is Radhika, Shruti's character. And he has found some comfort in that. There's something that is there's a scandal that's happened in his life which she blames him for. But I think in the back of his mind, he's quite mature to know that ठीक है मैंने कुछ गलत तो नहीं किया है, लेकिन life has put it like this, so now it's like this. And what he does is he loves his family and he loves it. And now he has to live this life thinking of his how to keep his unit together, you know. And I think that's to play a character that actually doesn't have much of, you know, it's simple. He's a sort of as I said, subdued and suppressed character. So then to try and get out some intrigue to the audience or some kind of what's the word, to make him interesting to the audience. I think that for me was fun. I won't say challenge. It was fun to trying to sort of get that across, get what he's really feeling inside across without having the words and without having the scenes and without having the drama that goes into a character that sort of helps characters get actors get their characters out. Rishi doesn't have all of that. He's the guy at the back, standing at the back, but at the same time, a lot of the story is based on his character of the show. So I found that quite interesting to play and do and try and work out in my head. I hope I've done a good job because I haven't seen the show yet. I have to see it.
But also,
people go see this. बोल रहा है लेकिन कुछ ऐसा हुआ नहीं. So maybe I'm wrong, but I hope so. I mean, I tried my best. Let's hope people see the work I've put into it. So
definitely. But also, I found this one dialogue very interesting. In the first glimpse, it says that she's not who we think she is. I want to know, in real life, have you met a person, जिसके बारे में you had a certain image in your mind that this person could be somewhere, rude, or say maybe that person could be a nice person. But when you actually got to know that person, your perception actually changed. Like contrary to what
I think that happens all the time. I feel like जब हम लोगों से मिलते हैं तो within 30-40 seconds हमारा जो our general body and mind makes a particular judgment on that person. It's natural. We keep saying that I don't want to be judgmental, but the truth is, as human beings, we are all judgmental. And whether you like it or not, 30 seconds के अंदर आप किसी इंसान से मिलोगे तो उस 30 seconds के अंदर आप एक जजमेंट पास करोगे अपने दिमाग में, सबकॉन्शियस में एक जजमेंट होगा उस इंसान के बारे में. And then as you get to know the person better and more, you kind of figure out कि ठीक है मैंने जैसे सोचा था उसके बारे में शायद वो सही नहीं है. And I think what you shouldn't be fixed on is on that first judgment or any judgment that you're making, because judgments keep changing and your opinion about people keep changing, and you should allow for that fluidity. And that's what's lovely about that's the work that needs to be done when you're making judgments, because judgments will happen. But to answer your question, to give you a more sort of precise kind of answer, is that yes, I have dated a girl once that I thought was, I think I was going through a phase in my life where I was, and this happens, I've seen it happen to many people, not just to me, where you fall in love with your perception of somebody, but actually that person is something totally different. और मेरे साथ ऐसे हुआ है, मैं किसी से प्यार करता था, we were dating each other for a few months also, और उन महीनों में मुझे पता चला कि यार जैसे मैंने सोचा था ये लड़की ऐसी है ही नहीं, not in a good or bad way, and just a different way, different from what I was looking for, but I had imagined in my head कि ये ऐसी है लेकिन ऐसी नहीं थी. So we find, and then I was also not being truthful to that relationship because I also was working from a wrong judgment myself. So then finally we split up and end up. So we didn't end up together. So this happens all the time. I think we get into relationships with people, we imagine them a certain way, and then we realize, oh, they're not like that.
But also, coming to the next question, secrets are injurious to health. ये जो है, this line has been attached to 36.
Yeah, I think they're injurious to health. You should never keep any secrets.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, is this any secret about you that people are still not aware of, or maybe a lesser known fact that your fans?
I'm quite honest and open. I think I'm really the most open person you'll come across. I've always kept my life most open. In fact, sometimes I've been People have taken advantage of that also, but
Mm.
I think I have nothing to hide. So if people ask me a question, I'll answer it. If I don't want to answer it publicly, then that's another thing. So I'll tell you, I'll tell it to you, but I'll tell you not on camera. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because then you don't know who's listening to it. But I'm quite generally quite an open person.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, having done some projects in this OTT space, Purab, do you feel that the content that is made in on this medium somewhere needs to be censored? I'm specifically talking about the intimate scenes and some kind of the abusive language that are used in shows.
I personally think nothing creative should be censored. Ever, ever, anywhere. Not on OTT, not on film, not on television. If people have a problem watching it, don't watch it. Simple. Why are we trying to treat the audience like kids? You know, if you don't want your kid to watch something, okay, I understand. Don't let your kid watch something, but then there are enough parental blocks. Every OTT platform has got a parental block. Don't send your child to the cinema to watch things. Since you don't have control over that aspect of your life, why do you want to control somebody else's business? Creativity should the idea of artists and the idea of creativity is to put ideas into society. That's what we are here to do. That's what our job is. When you ask me as an actor or as an artist, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to try and look for different parts, different characters, and try and represent them so that because these characters do exist in society, and we are as artists, we are reflections of that society. We have to portray those right, correct reflections. So by censoring nudity or censoring abusive language, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
By censoring sex, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It exists. We are in a country that has the biggest population in the world. Shortly, we're going to be. I think we are. So that obviously, our children are not falling from the sky, right? People are having sex, and that's why children are born in India. So why censor it? Because if you're censoring it, you're making it bad. Then people want it more. If you don't censor it, you become open-minded about it. Of course, I'm saying don't go crazy. That's now people go crazy because you censored it for so long. You have to be open-minded about these things, and then you realize that it's nothing. It's like बच्चे को अगर टॉफी ना दोगे ना तो और मांगेगा.
Yeah, they'll crave for it more.
Exactly. तो show the toffee ना, दो खा के इंसान खुश हो जाएगा, फिर उसके बाद मांगेगा नहीं. You'll be like, okay, यार ठीक है. Look at societies that have it open. If you look at Amsterdam, for example, in Holland, they they were liberal about many things very early on, and you'll see that there's a direct relation to where things are liberal and open. The negative aspects around those things are far less than it is in places where it's all suppressed and keep, because the emotions are coming up in people. If you suppress those emotions, it destroys, it burns and explodes. If you let it out and just let it pass away and go away, it'll go away. Then people will look for other new things and more expansion will happen. When you're censoring, you're creating a contraction, you're closing down. I don't know. I feel nothing should be censored, to answer your question shortly, in a short format.
But before we conclude this interview, I want to talk about the fact that you have completed 26 years in this industry. It's a long time, Purab. How do you look at the journey that has been for you in Bollywood per se?
I think there are highs and lows. There's some times when the going is great, sometimes the going is frustrating. And I think the the sort of the only way I know is that you just have to sort of wait it out. When things are bad, you wait and something good will happen. When things are good, know that they will end and, and something bad will come around the way. And that becomes a part of your life. So that for me, honestly, right now, if you ask me this question after all, I didn't realize that it's almost 26 years. You're right. Because I just feel like yesterday only I said 25 years, but now very soon in
26.
August, it'll be 26. Yeah. So, uh, when I look back at the 26 years, there were times in my career, in my life, I felt very anxious. I felt, oh my God, kya ho raha hai? But now I just feel ki there's a time, it's a phase, and what I'm really enjoying is the journey itself, and you just like parts you play, the excitement you have, successful parts, successful shows, successful parts have a certain high. The bad ones and that don't do well, people don't notice, have lows. There are periods when there's no work and then you have a low. There are periods when there's a lot of work and you're having great difficulty managing all that work, jumping from set to set, shooting, tired, no time with family. Those also have its positive and negative. So one has to look at life in a whole and not as what is currently up and currently down. You look at your whole year or your whole 26 years and say, oh, these parts I really enjoyed. These parts I could do better. But on a overall, if you ask me would I change anything, I'd say no, because I really had a good time through those 26 years. I'm still having a good time. So,
Yeah.
so
So no regrets.
it's been a good journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wish you all the luck also for the fact that 36 Days is coming out soon on Sony Live. I'm
Please do
personally
watch it. Please do watch it.
I'm looking forward to watching it. I mean, the trailer itself is so intriguing. I'm so excited to see what secrets will be out once I watch the show on the platform.
Well, I hope you enjoyed, Nirali.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Purab, for your time.
Thank you.